baseball glove for me, and I think for everybody who's played at any level, a baseball glove is the piece of the pie that is you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast. Jonathan is smiling because we had a great chat about baseball and golf today with our guest Jeff Call of Sluggers Golf. Jonathan?
It's not John Smoltz. We're still that's the epitome of who I want on the show. That would be my favorite show think ever. Because then maybe that could lead to Greg Maddux and a couple other amazing baseball players. But if you don't want to listen about baseball, just skip to the 10-minute mark. We talked a lot about baseball to start, but I mean, why wouldn't we? The entire thing of this particular guy, Sluggers Golf, the coolest head covers. We were just in Pennsylvania and we saw, I think Mizuno's starting to come out with golf bags that look...
Sun Mountain.
Sun Mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you've seen a couple of the new stuff that's out there, it looks like it's got a baseball-ish feel to the actual bag. This guy has gone completely way past that. You can send in your own glove that maybe has a memory, or listen to the story about the handprint. It's amazing. I'm already trying to figure out which baseball glove I'm sending in so I can get a head cover. And I don't even have, I only have one driver, but I'm going to start carrying extra woods or something just so I can make sure I have a place to put this thing.
Yeah, no, really cool story about a guy that loves baseball, loves head covers. He said he was collecting head covers for a long time, and then figured out that he could make his own. And pretty cool story about the coyote.
Yeah, the coyote thing's neat too.
So, anyway, great chat with Jeff Call, Sluggers Golf. You guys are going to like it. Always many thanks to Summit Golf Brands. They don't make head covers and they don't make clothes out of baseball gloves. They do make some great stuff though. So be dratty, zero restriction, fairway and green. Use BestBall 20 at any of those websites and you can save 20% off your order. So let's play ball. Let's jump in and chat with Jeff Call of Sluggers Golf. Y'all enjoy. All right, joining us today on The Whole Story, Mr. Jeff Call with Sluggers Golf. Jeff, how are you doing today?
Doing really well. Doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. We're excited. You're talking to two huge baseball fans, and golf fans, and fans is probably the extent of that. The playing days are long past us. We still try to play golf, but checking out what you're doing with Sluggers Golf, man. We're excited to learn more about you and your story.
Oh, well, cool. Great. Yeah. Baseball was my thing for many, many, many years. I goofed around with golf a little bit as a kid, but seeing as I'm older than Tiger, kids really didn't play golf. Unless your dad was at a country club or, someone was pushing you along to play golf, nobody played golf. So, I probably picked up my first club at about 11 or 12. And by the time I hit high school, so maybe 2-3 years later, 13, 14, I put them down and didn't really pick them back up seriously again for 35 years. Played baseball through a little bit of college ball, junior college, and then would just mess around with golf. Would go and get drunk with my buddies once a year at some high school tournament where we'd get plastered and try and hit the ball as hard as we could and hit massive slices, and that was it. But then 47, I tore an ACL and started playing golf. Retired a couple years after that and was working in the golf industry just as a part-time gig. Made myself a head cover. People kept asking me, "Where'd you get it?" And that's how Sluggers Golf was born. So it was born of a baseball injury.
You didn't tear your...
Here I am 2 years later.
Did you tear your ACL playing baseball or pickleball?
Baseball. Was still playing hardball.
Where were you playing baseball at 47 years old? How's that work?
I was raking.
Where can I find that?
I was raking their pitching too. I hit 537, and that's no exaggeration. They was at high school. It was probably a dozen teams throughout San Diego County in the 35 and over league, and it's fun. We had one of the guys on my team was a former major league pitcher. He had pitched for maybe, he got a cup of Joe type situation, and then
Right.
tore his elbow, blew his elbow out, Tommy John surgery, and that was it for him. But still a stud baseball player. The guys who make it to the bigs usually played every position there was under the sun in high school. So, I would say the caliber of play was just under high school ball. Like a good high school team would have killed us, but but it was a lot of fun, and you still got to swing it, relatively real pitching, BP. But it was fun.
I need to find an adult league.
They're out there.
My son and I
have heard what happens.
I don't care. I pull muscles getting out of bed. I might as well do it doing something fun.
My first at bat, I had played a little when I was younger too, but I hadn't swung a bat and actually run the pads for 10 years when I went back to play. And my first at bat, I hit one in the gap between first, like basically up the middle, a little leaning towards shortstop, and I took off like I was 20. Pulled the right groin with the first step, pulled the left groin with the second step. So it's
thrown out at first. You're
groin.
My son and I have this conversation all the time. He's 15, soon to be 16. He plays football and he's fine. He's not super athletic, but he's fine. I played college baseball, and so we'll be at like a local minor league team or something like that. And he's like, "Do you think you could play for these guys?" I'm like, "Well, how much time do I have to prepare?"
Exactly.
I mean, they're low A ball. And he's like, if I gave you a year, I'm like, if you gave me a year, I absolutely could make this team. He's like, there's no way. I'm like, oh, sure. I was like, now, I'm not going anywhere else, and I don't know what it's going to look like after that, like you said, after that first hit. But I can still lay down a bunt. I was a catcher. Definitely can't do that anymore. Like, that would ruin me. But I could play first base. Like, I could still make picks and have no problem fielding balls. So... yeah, I don't know if any of that's real, but man, if I could find an adult baseball league, I would absolutely, that would be so much fun.
Throw it in Google, man. I guarantee they're out there. We've got them all over San Diego County, LA County. Like it's super competitive. They have like a World Series where it's nationwide, where these teams get together and the competition's pretty good. Like you got a lot of the guys, you'll get these 18 and over open league. There's still dudes out there late 40s, early 50s that have never put it down, and they're still out there playing against the kids. But they also bracket it so that you can play 35 and over and 50 and over. The 50 and over starts getting like I wouldn't even play in it now, even with no right knee. The competition sucks at that point because the quality of play really drops off. There's a lot of guys didn't even play high school ball in there.
I had a memory pop up on Facebook, another one of my when I win the lottery things. I'm a Cardinals fan from the Midwest, and they have fantasy camps, right? You can go play fantasy camps. And so I literally listed out and tagged most of them on Facebook, all of my buddies that I played high school or college baseball with. And I'm like, I would absolutely pay for every single one of us to go to Cardinals camp. We'd put together 2 9-man teams. I even had like all my old coaches that I'm still friends with. I'm like, we will go to this thing when I win the lottery and we'll just dominate and have, I think I put myself as a catcher because I'd be like, I'll work out hard enough to play one game as a catcher and then never be able to move right again.
It'll just sound like popcorn every time you go down to
yeah, my ankles would, now the new style of catching, the problem with the new style of catching is now like I'm old enough, I can't get up from the new style of catching. I can get down to one knee and be a little flexible that way, but trying to get up like any type of speed is just like, let me put my arm down and see if I can get myself off the ground.
They do tournaments. They had the guy that got me back into playing played in one at the Field of Dreams field that they have.
Oh.
Yeah, and they do like throwback unis and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun, and that's a multiple day tournament. But yeah, there's tournaments all over the place, and just like the kids with the travel ball, it's the same thing for adults with the adult league. It's out there.
Multi-days where you lost me. I don't think give me
2 innings.
One game, not a doubleheader, and then give me about 3 or 4 days to recover. I should be all right.
Jeff, I'll just meet you on the golf course.
Yeah,
I play baseball too, but I am I think smart enough to know that. I had somebody tell me one time, after 30, stop playing basketball because you're not going to impress anybody and you're only going to get hurt.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I've kind of kind of given up the pretty much any sport besides playing some golf. Trying not to hurt myself there.
Well, that's it. Golf is where people go when they get hurt, basically, and they're still competitive.
I know it. Well, tell us a Sluggers golf story. Like, did you say, all right, I'm done with baseball? Like, what can I do with this thing, this glove? And is that how it all started?
A little bit, yeah. I had seen. I started working part-time in the golf space. I would go out with like a TrackMan unit and do long drive contests and stuff at charity events and corporate golf events. And I had seen someone that had turned a baseball glove into a head cover, and I'm a bit of like a head cover guy. Like, I like to collect them, almost like a sneakerhead. I'm a head cover head. So I just like cool stuff like that. And the first time I saw one, I was just like, oh my God, I gotta have it. So found a guy who was making head covers, reached out to him, told him what I was doing, and he helped me make one. Like, he had never made one, but he's like, I think I can do it. So we kind of just talked through it and figured it out together, and he made the head cover for me. I was bringing it out to these events, and I was doing 3 events a week, and it's call it 144 people is a full event, so anywhere from 100 to 150 people, 3 times a week. People coming by, going, "Hey, where'd you get it? Where'd you get it? Where'd you get it?" And that was really how it started. I worked with that guy for a little bit, but the price point wasn't working for him. Like, he wasn't making enough money for the amount of time it took him to make a baseball glove head cover. So he stuck with just your basic head covers. Like embroidered 2 pieces of leather. It's like a mitten without a thumb. And he was just like, it's not worth it to me to do these. So I was just like, well, if I want to do these, I got to figure it out. So I bought a $3,000 professional machine, $250 worth of old beat up baseball gloves from a guy that owned this Play It Again sports franchise, and sat down, taught myself how to sew, and started making head covers. And it's a little intimidating at first, because you don't know what you're doing. But I was like, I can't really make a mistake here. I'm not going to screw anything up. Nobody cares if I make a mistake, so just go for it. Make mistakes, and I did. Made a lot of mistakes. Stabbed my thumb a couple times with the industrial sewing machine, which, other than the fact that it smashes your finger, it's pretty painless because the needle's sharp and it goes through real quick.
You're basically just going ahead and giving yourself some stitches at the same time,
and you can stitch it at the same time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just started doing it, and one of my very first sets that I ever did was for David Justice.
Wow.
Yeah, real nice guy. They give him a little bit of a bad rap. He has an ego, but I can tell you, every professional player has an ego.
They all do.
You don't get there without one. Like, you got to have that kind of killer instinct and think you're, badass. And they were, and they are, and he is, and he's a great guy, super nice guy. But the dude that I did the golf stuff with was his coach. He coached him in golf, and Dave's just like rabid golfer. So I told him, hey, get me a glove. I'll make you something. Just don't give me anything. I don't want a World Series glove. Get me something that doesn't matter. So if I mess up, I'm not going, oh, sorry, here's the pieces of your glove back. And I made him a couple head covers, and he helped me out a little bit. And it just kind of has just snowballed over the last 2 years.
With all his time with the Braves, it was probably a Division Series glove, though, for real.
No, it was a minor league glove he gave me.
Oh, wow, nice.
And this is actually something, the podcasting thing is something I've considered getting into, because having now done, probably 25 ex-major league players, I've done head covers for about that many. I get to hear their story. And the stories are where it's at, man. These guys, and they tell you the behind the scenes stuff, which is fantastic. And when I had Dave, I asked him, what if you could have, because he won 2 World Series with I'm not sure if both were with the Yankees, but I know one for sure was with the Yankees. He might have had one with Atlanta. I can't remember. But I go, if you could have the 2 World Series rings, or you could win 2 majors as a golfer, what would you do? And he just goes, oh, man.
That's
He's
a
like,
tough
oh,
call.
he goes, do I get to win the Masters twice? And I'm like, 2 majors, you pick them. I'm like, whatever you want. And he goes, okay, if I had to pick, I'd pick the Masters. He goes, let me think about it. And he literally sat there for like silent for a good 30 seconds or longer. He goes, I got to stick with the baseball. And he goes, I'm going to tell you why. He goes, I would have missed out on all those bus rides in the minors. I would have missed out on all the guys. I would have missed out on the stories and the time together. He goes, and that to me was the most important part of my game. He goes, yeah, I love winning the World Series. But to hear those stories from guys like him, it's cool as hell, and I had the opportunity to hear him say it. And I'm just standing there with this shit-eating grin, watching him talk, and I'm just like, oh my God, this is the ultimate fanboy moment. And it was, that's the cool part of what I do is meeting, ball players and getting to hear the stories.
So you've sold 25 of these things then, is that what you said? Just 25 total?
Yeah. This past week. Yeah. It's something else keeping up with it for sure. But,
That's amazing.
There's a lot. Baseball glove for me, and I think for everybody who's played at any level, a baseball glove is the piece of the pie that is you. A bat, don't get me wrong. You can have a bat that's important. You can have, a lucky hat or a pair of socks that you don't wash all season because they were your lucky socks. That kind of stuff goes into baseball. But with a glove, it's a piece of you. And the way you break it in, everything is different, and this is something I see every day when I receive someone's glove is it's got different wear marks. You can see how they play the game, like a first baseman's mitt where the fingertips are all smashed down and it's got the bowed out thumb, and you can tell how they fielded the ball. Like that glove hit the ground every time. I'll find sunflower seeds. I've found pennies. I've found all kinds of stuff inside of gloves when I take them apart.
A nail file, whatever.
Yeah, sandpaper, right? Little sticker.
Yeah.
But the glove is the biggest portion that has your attachment. It's got the outside, it's got the palm section, and then inside where the handprint is, you see people's handprint. The sweat,
That's
the literal
cool.
blood, sweat, and tears that goes into the game. And
yeah,
it's like I know I sound corny and sentimental, but that to me that's it, man. That's the years of hard work and emotional input or the commitment to the game that's in there, and that stuff's cool. Yeah. One quick little story, and I'm sorry if I digress a little here, but
no, you're good. This is great.
I had a lady send me in a head cover, and it was for her husband's son from a previous marriage who had passed away, and it was the kid's glove. And I don't know how old he was, but he was an adult male, because when I put my hand in the glove, I could feel that it wasn't like a 14-year-old kid that had it. It was an adult. But whenever he had passed away, they sent me the glove, and I took it apart. This was for this past Christmas. I take it apart, and like I said, inside is the piece where this kid's handprint is. And initially, I was like, how can I incorporate it into the glove? Into the head cover, excuse me. And there was no way for me to do it in a way that it was cool. And then I was like, this might mean more. I don't know that he wants that on his head cover every time he plays. The glove itself is there. So I took it out, got it wet, laid it flat, cleaned it up, got all the dirt and dust and grime off of it, and then pressed it under I have this 50-pound kettlebell, and I just pressed it flat. Went down to the 5 and under store, bought a frame, put it on there on some felt, and sent it along with him. And he called me with I could hear he was crying, and it was just like I'm choking up now as a father of an 11-year-old daughter, that knowing what it must be to lose your child, but then to get something that literally has his handprint on it back.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I can't thank you enough. And I did 25 years in the mortgage industry and made a lot of money. And I don't make a lot of money doing these head covers, believe it or not. Someday I hope to, but I don't. And the stories and the emails and the thank yous that I get from people when I turn that sentimental item into something special, that means so much more to me than any of the money I ever made as a mortgage loan officer. Like it means the world to me to hear people say, I love it. I love this. And it brings a new life to something that was sitting in the garage collecting dust in a bag somewhere or in a box. So, I mean, I know I talk too much. I'm sorry.
No. This is it. You talk about that connection to a glove, though. Like, I literally, if I go out and play catch, I got 2 boys, and if we're playing catch, I literally have my very first glove that I started playing baseball with when I was 10 years old. And it's a little infield it's almost like, it's not even real leather. It's like a plastic something.
Right.
And I have restitched, once I got into baseball in high school and college, my favorite thing to do every off season was to completely redo my entire glove. I would grab the leather, I had the toolkit, the whole deal. I met some old guy that taught me how to restitch them all. And so I would redo as a catcher. So I'd redo the webbing and everything else every year. And so the number of times I fixed this plastic glove, and even my son, he's like, that glove doesn't fit your hand. I'm like, you can throw whatever you want, man. I'm going to catch it in this glove. It's going to be just fine.
How old is your son?
So, yeah, he's 15.
Oh, okay.
15 and 16, yeah. Unfortunately, I love my kid, and I'm not disappointed in him. I have to tell myself that whenever I realize that he's not a baseball player and never will be, and it's okay. He's left-handed. I tried to turn him into a pitcher a long time ago, and he just, maybe if he got into it now, like, he's like, what if I went and played now? I'm like, dude, you're going to be a junior. Like, you don't just walk onto a varsity baseball field having never played baseball before unless you want to work. And if you want to work, I will put you through it because I know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
But he's doing football and other sports. He's in theater. Like, I'm super proud of him. There is a slight disappointment every once in a while. We're like, dude, you're left-handed. Like, you know how much movement you could put on that little fastball?
No doubt.
Just pressure here. But
they used to sign, my age, they used to sign you if you could throw 90 and were left-handed.
Oh, if you were lefty and, if you hit 90, you were probably going D1.
Yeah.
Like, that was almost automatic. Yeah, I feel the same way. So, talk about, though, like, did you have a special glove? Is the driver the one thing? Because you mentioned it sounds like long drive competition. So you hit 567. That must have included some bombs too.
Few.
Was it the?
Yeah,
was it the head cover part or the glove part? Like, what drew you into that?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Was it really the head cover part or the glove part that kind of really made that click the first time?
Well, that's a really good question. I haven't thought of that. I just liked head covers to begin with, but then when I saw a glove turned into a head cover, I was just like, it was like the Holy Grail. I was like, oh my God, that is the coolest thing ever. Like, I gotta get one of these. Like, I gotta do this. Like, this is, it was weird. Like, like I said, it was like seeing the Holy Grail. Like, I knew that was it. I want to tell you a quick story. A few years ago when I first started thinking about doing head covers, it wasn't the baseball gloves, it was just general head covers. I was playing with a buddy, I dropped a head cover, and we went back looking for it. We get back to we come back up the cart path, and we get to the hole, like maybe 3 holes back, and there's a coyote. And I thought it had a squirrel, and it's rolling around on the grass and rolling on this, like, looked like a carcass. And I'm thinking, they do, my dogs have done that where they roll on something dead, So I get out there. It was my head cover. And this coyote picks up my head cover and like takes off with it. And we start chasing it in the cart. And we get up it gets up on the side of the hill, and the grass starts getting about 3-4 feet deep. And I'm like, you SOB. And he's got it in his mouth, and he's going up the hill. So I'm just like, damn it. I'm like, well, whatever, that's the end of that. So we go back, we take off, we finish our round, we come back, and we get back to the clubhouse, and coming down the main road into the course is this coyote. And I don't know if it's the same coyote, but it's coming from the direction that one had run, and it doesn't have a head cover. And I'm like, okay. Well, let's see. So we roll up, and on the way out, we drive real slow, and sure enough, it had dropped my head cover on the side of the road coming into the course, and I picked it up. And I go, this is a sign from God. I got to get into these head covers. the Great Spirit's telling me the coyote was trying to lead me to the head cover. But it was just kind of a weird little thing that happened. And my buddy, I had told him at the time, I'm like, man, I should make some head covers. And that was probably a year before I actually did the baseball glove ones. And it's been like serendipitous. I've met so many people along the way that have just been and it's all been put in front of me because of golf. And the two things coming together like they did has just been it's weird. Like I said, the serendipity of it, the people, the groups. We did, we meet a lot of ex-ball players because a lot of them turn to golf. They can't give up the long ball. And they go and they want to hit that golf ball 3 times as far as they ever hit a baseball. And it's, what I'm talking about. Like you hit one, you're like, get out of here, baby. Like, hammer one. You're like, that's right.
My nickname was Punch and Judy. I was a left-handed leadoff bunter. So I'm serious.
It's all right.
I hit 1 home run. I love hitting the ball far with a driver. I do remember, and I never played golf until I was like almost 30. And so not even picked up a club really. I didn't do anything in high school, nothing like that. And I remember my uncle played golf, but he lived in Chicago. He was 6 or 7 hours away from us. And he mentioned, he goes, yeah, you go to Wrigley and realize you could hit it out of the field with my 9-iron. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Wedge.
That's not possible. You can't hit a ball that far. Because I had no concept of how far a golf ball would go. And now I'm like, oh, you really could stand on the home plate and use your 9-iron. That's kind of weird. But for some reason I couldn't hardly get a ball out of the infield.
If you're Bryson, you can do it with a 56.
That's right.
Well, talk to us a little bit about the process, right? You mentioned people are sending you gloves.
Right.
So they, like you said, it's an item that's full of stories that they want to preserve. It's probably sitting on a shelf or in a garage or in a box somewhere. So they're sending you these things and you're returning them for something that they can use for a long time, right?
That's it. That's I would say about 80-90% of the time it's somebody sending me in a glove. I do offer a bit of a service. I keep probably 90 gloves I have in a big storage bin. And I'm kind of a junkie. I'm on eBay looking all the time to find something that's a deal, and I'll find if I find something that's a good quality, I know people are going to like it. I'll just buy it and throw it in the bucket, and if somebody likes it, great. I'll use that, or I use the one they send me, and that's part of the way I promote it when I do actually try to sell the business, so to speak, is don't let it sit in the garage and collect dust. What good is it? Hey, look, we're moving, or we're cleaning out the garage and we're going to do a yard sale. Oh, hey, look, there it is again. Well, right back in the box, right back up on the shelf where it sits for another 5 years, doesn't get seen. The memories and the stories behind it are forgotten. And to me, it's like giving it a little bit more respect. Sometimes, people are like, oh, I don't want to cut it. I don't want to cut it. I understand that. Yeah, definitely. But at the same time, like, if it's just collecting dust in a box, bring it out, get it done, bring new memories to it. Because how many of us still hang out with those guys from high school or college when we go play a round of golf and we drink, 6-pack of beers and bullshit and hit balls as far as we can, and shoulda, woulda, couldas about life. It's like the most therapeutic thing you can do is play golf with your buddies. And you bring those memories to that same head cover like you did when it was a glove. And you get to see it again. It's in the garage on a pedestal, your driver or your, whatever glove you do. But it's sitting right there and you go, look, there it is. Think about those things. It's fun. It's just fun.
I'm holding on to my glove just in case the Augusta minor league baseball team needs someone to be like a second baseman.
The Green
I can probably
Jackets?
still feel the ball at second base. The Green Jackets, yeah.
Hats are my hair. So
All right.
I'm a big fan of different minor league teams because they've got so many cool hats. The Green Jackets had a couple years ago. They did one. It was the what's the sandwich? The pimento cheese sandwich.
The pimento cheese.
I have that one.
Yeah, so I don't have that one. I do have the azaleas. They're the azaleas. I got a pink and green one.
Yeah.
I actually wore that one to the Masters this year. That was a good hat to wear there. And then I just got essentially a 4-seat season pass for general admission.
Oh, cool.
So I went to my first game the other day, and they do a turkey for Hispanic recognition, like Hispanic weekend.
I've seen it, yeah.
And so I got a little colorful turkey hat. I love minor league hats the same way. Like,
they got the
they always
best
do
stuff.
fun things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So how do you grow this? Do you partner with baseball glove companies? Do you partner with baseball players, or like you said, go to some of these tournaments where they're getting the old guys back together and showing them off?
So, I mean, 99% of the paid advertisement I've done has either been Instagram or TikTok. It's really inexpensive. It's a great way to be seen. Influencers are a big part of it. Like if you can find people that are, have a footprint already. The first person that really helped me out is a guy who goes by Jimmy Tropicana. I don't know if you're familiar with him at all.
Oh yeah.
He helped Manolo, Smack That Shit, the Latin dude that does that stuff. Okay, so those two are buddies, and they I don't know their backstory all fully, but I know that they're real life buddies. They're good friends. And Jimmy was a barber by trade, had a spot up here just east of Los Angeles, north of me, and did a barbershop, and then he called it the Barbershop and Golf Society. And he started doing tournaments, like setting up tournaments, getting guys together to play, and that's kind of where he got his start. I played with them for a little bit, but they were a little bit more of a drive than I like to make, so I started playing a little bit more locally of where I live now. I'm north of San Diego, by Temecula. So started playing up here and ran into him one day. He was shooting content at one of the local courses. He saw my head covers. He's like, dude, those are cool. And I'm like, you want one? Because I knew he had a couple 100,000 followers. And I'm like, I'd be happy to make you one if you just pop it on your Instagram for me. So that's what I did. And he did a little 30-second video for me. And we got 185,000 views in the first 24 hours. And I probably got about 400 emails out of it. Probably 25 to 30 total sales from it, but it was, it gave me that push. I didn't even have a TikTok at the time. I started a TikTok, and within a week I had 3,000 followers. So it was, and that's, as as you're doing your podcast, that stuff, it builds on itself. Somebody's friend likes something, then it goes to all their friends, and then it gets that little, the snowball effect going, and that's a big part of it for me. The events, going out to events and putting it in front of people. I've worked with a couple of different baseball glove companies who I won't mention, but they're a pretty large manufacturer, yet still relatively small as far as the business is concerned. No one played golf. They're just baseball. So they couldn't wrap their head around what I was trying to do. And I'm like, look, I'll buy pre-made gloves from you. And we worked on that, but they didn't see the potential, so it didn't quite work out. Then I found a boutique maker. He does very small runs of stuff. And he's a golfer, so he's like, ooh, okay, that's cool. But we're still kind of negotiating with them. We have something cool coming out. Sunday Golf is, I want to say in August, September, is coming out with a custom bag, and I can't tell you everything, but it's so cool. This bag, I've seen it from everything on it is custom, and everything on it is for their company, and the niche that this baseball glove maker is in. And it's going to be badass. So they're going to take my prototype that I gave them, and they're going to give it away as part of the introduction into the bags. So fingers crossed, I'll do something more with them down the line, and so I'm getting opportunities there. And then there's one other I can't talk about, but it rhymes with Rawlings. I've in negotiations talked to those guys a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe I get something there, and then they buy me up. I cash the check. Yeah. I buy a jet, and all I do is golf with Arnold Palmer.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
All you do is play golf with baseball players. That would be the interesting thing. Like you talk about the connections and the people and that kind of stuff. I mean, I always told people, they're like, if you could play professional baseball, what would you be? I'm like, I'd be a starting pitcher. And they're like, why? It's like, because I work every 5 days, and the other 3 or 4, like, I can just go play golf and enjoy life on the team's dime.
Yeah.
And have access to pretty much whatever you want when it comes to those types of things. But so, I mean, is that something like you think you see it as, hey, we could take this somewhere? I mean, you've obviously been in business before, and it sounds like maybe sold something from that side. So, like, grow it, get it into the right space and the right organization, and then
the vision I have for Sluggers is we're working on it right now. I should have something towards the end of summer here where it's more of a pre-manufactured type situation, along the lines of what you'd get if I had someone make baseball gloves for me. So we're looking for something that's we're not looking for a flimsy, cheapy piece of junk that's going to fall apart in a year. I want something that's going to last. I've got a couple prototypes out there. We're having those built out right now. And I want to try and get something that is in the price range where people can go, okay, this is cool. I can afford it. Like the custom stuff, even though I'm not the most expensive out there, it's not cheap. You know, you're going to spend $300, pretty much minimum. That's about where it's at. With tax and everything else, it's about $300. Prices can go up from there, but I want to give people an opportunity to get something that's cool, something that's fun, something that meets that baseball niche. So it's not outrageous for your run-of-the-mill guy who's dropping $60 in a muni each, once a week. He's not going, damn, that's as much as a new putter. I don't want to have to spend that. I want to get something that people can afford to buy. And, like with Sunday golf, these guys they're in Dick's Sporting Goods, they're in Costco, so
right.
If we can get something going like that, then it's, for me, it's a situation where I can keep my custom stuff and hopefully dream of all dreams, and this sounds a little out there, but be the Scotty Cameron of head covers.
Right.
Be a brand inside of a brand, doing really cool custom stuff that juices me, that gets me going, that makes me feel like excited to make them, versus sitting in just self-manufacturing head covers, because I could do the same head cover over and over and over again, and it just becomes a job. The creative part is a lot of fun. I've never considered myself an artist or anything along those lines, but there is an artistic portion to it, and it's fun. You get to do, like, man, I'm gonna try this. Like, I have a guy right now. He's bought 6 head covers from me so far, and I did something really special for him. He doesn't know it yet, but I went all out and came up with some really cool ideas. He had a trapeze glove, so the winding web. And I've done those. I've done them where it's, the trapeze is at the top, and just kind of flip it upside down, make it look like a cool head cover. But this one, I went all out on it for him, and I did it and probably put 3 times the amount of time I would normally put into a head cover into it, because I wanted to give him something special, because he's been so supportive. But those types of projects juice me. I get all work. I'm like, yeah, this is fun. And I enjoy it. So that is down the line. I'd like to be in a position where it'd probably be a little bit more pricey, it'd probably take a little more time, but where I can really just be creative about it, and hopefully make a nice living into leave my daughter with something. I'm 55 now, so I'm hoping to make it another 30 years. And hopefully 25 of those are on the golf course.
I just want to see the first part of your Coyote series whenever you start doing your custom ones. Like, you got to give a little nod to the thing that got you involved in this.
Should. Maybe I'll
head cover, like
figure out a way to add it into like my logos or something.
Right.
That'd be awesome. Well, I know you enjoy playing golf, and so let's kind of shift the conversation and kind of talk a little bit more about that. For sure. We ask everybody this question. We want to know the story of your most memorable golf shot. We know the story of your most memorable Coyote Eaton head cover, but
right.
How about a golf shot?
Ooh, let's see. I was playing. This isn't that long ago. I've only been playing for about a little over 7 years, and I would say January, December this year, I was playing it with a buddy, and we had played. It was a U.S. Open qualifier, and one of the kids that was playing with us worked at the course and was practicing before the qualifier. So we went out and played with him and his buddy, and then the two of us, and we get out there, and I went back to back eagle.
Wow.
Hit one. I'm keeping up with this. I can still hit the ball pretty long. Like realistically, I'm probably averaging just shy of 300 on a drive, but my longest drive ever is 365, and I was 53. So a couple years ago, I can still hit it. Like I can get out over 320, 330, and that's on a TrackMan. That's not BS. We have a TrackMan. But I hit a nice drive, and it was let's see, I was a little light rough to the right and just below the green. So it hit a 60-degree wedge up on two, and it went in. It one hopped and went in, and the kid saw it. He's like, "Oh!" So I'm like, "Awesome, eagle! That's fantastic. Gotta love that." And then we get to the next hole, it's a par five, and I absolutely just unload one. And then it was probably about 225, 230 in, and 5-iron on, and made the putt. So back-to-back eagles. So that was pretty cool. Plus, my buddy had a 4-stroke lead on me at the time, and he bogeyed both holes. So I put him in my rearview mirror at that point, and it was the end of him for the day. But yeah, that was probably my favorite golf thing, was the back-to-back eagles.
Yeah. Well, another thing we like to do with all our guests is what we call the quick nine. So just a quick back and forth here. First question is, what is the favorite course that you've played?
Oh, it's called Soleil, Soule. It's a kind of small little out-of-the-way spot in Ojai, California. It's the bang for your buck. I probably shouldn't be giving them away because the locals will hate me. But I think I paid $60 on a Tuesday to play it, and it was pristine. There's nobody out there. It was like kind of like the cool misty day. Beautiful. Soleil Golf Course, Ojai, California.
It's awesome.
I love it. What course is on the top of your bucket list?
Oh, I got a lot of those.
We all do.
The list is long.
I mean, Augusta, obviously, but that's never going to happen.
They need head covers too. They probably have baseball fans.
You never know, man. I'm meeting people. I might get lucky and find a member that's a baseball fan and get away with. Right. I mean, Augusta would be it, but something I think I can actually get on. I'd really like to play Pebble Beach.
Yeah,
it's always a good one. All right, I know you might have already mentioned it. Maybe we'll exclude that one. What's the favorite course that no one knows about?
Yeah, that's it. Soleil.
It's got to be Soleil.
Soleil's a great. If you ever get out there, man, it's there's something like Ventura is an area where it kind of turns into Central California, so you don't get that. It's not quite as hot. Ojai's almost to Santa Barbara, man. It's a great. If you ever get a chance to play that course, do it. There's a private course that's there, and you can get on, but it's pricey. Soleil's better. Even one of the locals is like, dude, this is the spot. This guy was a stick too, so I believe him.
Nice. All right, who would be in your dream foursome?
Jack, Tiger, and Jesus Christ. Honestly, yeah, I mean, that would be a great one, but
that'd be fun.
Yeah, Jack, Tiger, and John Daly, and I'd be in the bad kids cart with John.
What is your favorite snack on the turn?
High noon. A little vodka soda. I'm not. Hot dogs are okay, but I'm not a hot dog guy. I'm more of like a turkey sandwich, club sandwich, something like
Good
that.
choice.
All right. Favorite golf course logo?
Oh, Whistling Straits. I love that logo.
Yeah.
I love that logo.
Yeah,
I think it's so cool.
It sounds like you're going to have a lot to choose from, but what has been your favorite pro shop purchase?
Favorite pro shop purchase? I don't really buy much at the pro shops, honestly. I think there's a local course here. Um, what is it? I'm trying to remember the name of the course. Is it Tustin Range? Anyway, they just had a really cool hat that I bought. That's what it was. THC is what the hat says, and it's Tustin. I can't remember. Tustin Country Club or something. I can't remember, but it's THC is their logo, and I just thought it was funny. I'm like, you guys are probably selling 1 million of these hats, so I did buy one of the hats. Yeah.
None of them play golf.
Yeah. It's a nice course too. It's not like I was surprised that they did it because it was almost like out of character for the type of course it was that they would have those. But I bet there's selling a lot of those online, green ones.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, I know one answer is buy a head cover from Sluggers Golf, but what is one thing golfers should do?
Slow down. Quit trying to kill it. I spent 6 years of like 7+ that I've been playing trying to smash the ball, and people swing so damn hard, and I realized that a 70% swing hit square, you flush it, you're getting 95% of that club out of it, and I defy 99.9% of the golfers out there to swing as hard as they can and hit the center of the club. 95% of the time they can't. They're gonna miss 95% of the time. So slow down. Make good contact. Learn to make good contact. I think striking the ball is one of the most important things there is. You can play around with all kinds of different swing stuff, but the people who hit the center of the club face are the ones that put the ball where they want it to go. And the game is to get the ball in the hole in as few strokes as possible, not hit it as far as you possibly can. So
I love it.
Well, once you stop being able to get it in as few strokes as possible, then your goal becomes hit it as far as you can.
Exactly. When you can hit it flush every single time, go ahead and swing a little harder. Start small. Like my wife she likes the game, but just doesn't have time to play. And I'm teaching her to chip and putt because the rest of it, when you can chip the ball where you want it to go, then you can move to the next club where you hit it a little farther, then a little farther, then a little farther. And then eventually you're just doing the same thing you did when it was 3 feet. You're trying to hit it 3 feet straight. Now you're hitting it, 200 yards straight or 150 yards straight, or, for a man, it's 300 yards straight.
I've heard of things like that. Last question here. Finish this sentence. The best part of golf is?
Time with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Agreed. Jeff, this is awesome, man. Love what you're doing. Tell everybody where they can find out more and get a head cover from you at Sluggers Golf.
So I have my website is www.sluggersgolf.com. Also, if you want to get a good look at some of my stuff, it's on Instagram, also at Sluggers Golf, and it's the same on TikTok. I do have a Facebook presence, but I would say most of my stuff is Instagram and TikTok. So if they want to get a real good idea of what I can do, see some of my past work, it's Instagram and TikTok are the two places to really go and take a look.
Awesome. Well, we will definitely put links in the show notes for this episode for all those things. And we really appreciate what you're doing for the game, and appreciate you joining us today to tell the story.
Thank you. I thank you for your time. This is my first time on a podcast, so I appreciate it.
Hopefully it's not the last.
Fun. Yeah, I'm having a good time.
We'll do a look back here in a year when you're blowing up, and we'll be like, we got to talk to him first.
Well, I'll make sure you get some freebies.
I love it. Well, for Jeff at Sluggers Golf, this is Robbie and Jonathan. You've been listening to another episode of the Whole Story Podcast.